Hello, everybody. You're watching the Mike Nelson Show. I want to thank everybody who's already subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe right now. Today, I got a pretty cool guest. I got the band Wasted Eternities. How you guys doing today?
We're tired.
We're tired.
You
We're
guys are
good.
tired? You guys are jamming later, or what are you guys gonna do today? What are you guys up to today?
Sleep because we got work.
You got work. Okay. There you go. Okay, so if you give your names, your instruments, that way our listeners on the radio can know who they're listening to.
So, hi. So I'm Alejandro. I almost said I'm wasted. I'm Alejandro. I play guitar. I'm the frontman. I say.
Yeah. All right.
Hi, I'm David, and I play bass. Most basic. Okay. My name is Andy Corrado, and I play the drums for this whack band that's absolute trash.
Correct. All right. So when did Wasted Eternities kick off? When did you guys start this band?
Started. I'm sorry. That's a reference to a Metallica interview. But, we started in 2017.
16, 17. I don't know.
We started around 2017, 2018. Well, us playing together as a band started like in 2018, 2017. And it plays around 2017. Wasted itself, the name Wasted Eternities, the band Wasted Eternities has really, how to say this, wasn't active until about 2021.
Cool. And what tell me about the name of the band. How did you guys get the name of the band Wasted Eternities? Can you tell me about that?
We just kind of thought of the most edgy stuff we could possibly think of, and we were like, what's edgy? And then we just kind of like threw two words together that kind of made sense, and we got Wasted Eternities out of it.
And what kind of metal do you guys categorize the band as? What kind of metal are you guys?
Finally figured it out. After like 2 or 3 years, I don't know how long. We finally fucking figured it out.
It took us 2 years to figure out what kind of genre we were, and it was so easy to say. We're very simply crossover thrash.
Crossover thrash. Literally the most simple thing ever.
Crossover thrash. There we go. Now, what's right now with the LA scene? There's a lot of underground shows going on, a lot of backyard shows. Can you tell me about that? Of course, I met you guys at one of those. What is it, Mad Magic show back in January? Can you tell me about how the whole scene's popping right now?
Yeah, but Mad Magic. Let's see. So shows and Mad Magic, dude, they're playing a big part, especially right now. They're starting to really like kick it up a notch. But the underground scene, the LA underground scene, right now it's a really rich scene, especially when it comes to venue shows, backyard shows. A lot of these shows are like there's a really big amount. There's a lot of shows, a lot of genres. There's not as many metal shows as there used to be when I was like looking around the scene and stuff. But there's a lot of punk shows still going on. There's more mixed shows going on now. There's the Mad Magic threw an indie show, a really cool punk show. There's really big grind, a lot of grind stuff going on right now. A whole lot of genres. And crazy part is all in the same weekends. So like there's a whole lot of shows, a huge rich LA scene. And even outside the LA scene, we still have the IE scene, the Christian scene. And so basically there's a really rich scene right now in the LA county area. Like super rich.
Cool. Now, talk to me about the Rising EP. The EP you guys did. What was it? When did you guys do this EP? I saw it on Spotify there a couple years ago. Can you talk to me about it?
Yeah, that EP.
I don't even know when it was. February of 21.
That EP. All right.
So
So
like 2 years
that
ago.
EP, that was before. Okay, so that EP, we decided to record an EP, do everything, drop it before we even played our first show.
Wow.
Or we were in the scene.
We wanted people to, when we played shows, we wanted people to fall back on something. Anything, because it's better for you to have music out than not have music out.
Sure.
But we fell back. We decided to record just a couple songs we wrote. Some high schoolers, so we were just some high schoolers writing some, some Metallica inspired kind of riffs and stuff. It's super Metallica inspired if you look into it. It's like borderline ripping off, but who doesn't, right? It's Metallica. So check this out. So 2021, a little bit post pandemic, just barely post pandemic. We went out to Arizona.
It was still pandemic.
It was still pandemic.
Yeah.
Actually, it was right on the cusp, right on the cusp.
Like the climate.
Right on the. So we decided to go to Arizona. We went to Arizona to record with one of our boys at Jungle Pop Studios. And his name is George Love. And he decided he gave us a chance to record with him. and he really liked our stuff. He was like, "Cool, let's do it." He recorded us for a really good price, considering what teenagers we were. We're just some high schoolers right out of high school, so we were like trying to figure out what we were gonna do. So we recorded our little 5-track EP. We put it out, and then from there we kind of started playing more shows, started getting experience, and eventually we decided on a single, and we dropped a single, and that was Time Connect.
Nice. Now, if I could go through each member and if they could give their story about why they picked up their instrument, I like to do that with the bands. If everybody can kind of give their story on why they picked up their instrument.
Oh, okay, cool. So mine's pretty simple. So basically with me, I started around playing. I wanted a guitar when I was younger because I really like my entire family plays music, so I always wanted to play some kind of like instrument kind of per se. But when I got my first little like garbage Squire with my little 15 watt Fender amp, I was like, man, I am the shit now. I am the shit, right? And I was thinking, oh, this is gonna be something cool. I had this new thing, and what inspired me realistically, I watched a lot of guitar players play videos. But what really pushed it for me was Guitar Hero Live. That was the one that was the Guitar Hero one that just came out, the most recent one
at the time.
Not the one at the time. It was the most recent one, and I found it really interesting because instead of the 5-button system, it was now 3 and 3. So you actually had to move your fingers up and down, and also up and down. So it was like super like fun for me to you could play chords and everything. It was so dope. And I ran through the whole game, different songs, different genres, the whole thing. I ran through it, and then I went online and I started just wrecking kids. And eventually, I was like, man, if I did like FC like everything, I'm pretty sure I can do this for real life. And so I picked up the guitar and I just started doing that. And then,
there you go.
And now,
don't forget the singing part.
Don't forget the
singing part.
But we could come back.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. We'll come back
to sing. Yeah.
Anyways, for me, originally, I didn't start it on bass at first. It was more of that these guys needed a bass. These guys needed a bass player, and I just happened to be playing guitar around the time. So yeah, sort of like Alejandro's background. Like I kind of I'll just be playing a Guitar Hero 3, just like the old school Guitar Hero, and I just wanted everything, picking up a guitar for myself. And I asked my dad to take me to Sam Ash or whatever guitar store was around the time, and got myself a Squire. And then I just saw it to just practice guitar, yada yada. And then the middle school hit, and then what was it? Yeah. And then then we kind of started our own middle school band, and they needed a bass player. Alejandro was already playing guitar around the time, so and Abdi was already on drums, but we hardly knew him then. I knew Alejandro since kinder, so I just said, fuck it, why not just pick up a bass? So I happened to borrow Alejandro's bass, which he happens to have lying around. The rest was history. He messed up my bass. I did, but it wasn't until sophomore year that I picked up my own bass. And
stop drumming.
Stop drumming.
No, I can't. Okay. It is literally my life. I was literally born to it. My life story. I was actually quite literally born into it. I came out the womb with drumsticks in my hand. Like, yeah. No, but that for real. Apparently, and I know this when I was very tiny, like midget tiny, I would bang on the fucking pots and pans and shit like that, and my mom would get so annoyed. I didn't know that until she told me like years after I got my drum set. I was like, that makes sense. It makes sense. I was literally quite born into it. And then, fun fact about myself, I was actually a church kid. I would go to church every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I was part of the music group. So I kind of learned how to play piano and drums through that. Mostly drums because they kept getting on my fucking ass on the drums. And then later on, I actually dropped out of drums for like how many years? How long was elementary school? Elementary was like half of like closer.
Like 10 years.
A lot of years.
A lot of
years. 10 years, right?
Like, roughly 6-7 years. I was kind of drunk.
8 years. Let's just say 8 years.
Like around 7-8 years, I was like out of the game on drums. Like I have not touched a single drum set in forever. And then middle school hits around like 8th grade time. one of the drummers from from last year left to a different school, and I was like, they had nobody else. I was like, my time to shine, you know, my time to get bit. No, I'm kidding. But
you gotta show drum, homie.
I gotta show them up, you know. But yeah, so that's how I met them actually. Motherfuckers were actually bullying me down 7th grade.
We should have bullied him more.
We should have bullied him, bro.
We should have bullied Abby way more.
We should have started another guitar battle.
Talk about that later? No, we'll talk about that later. Actually, that is part of the origin story too. But yeah, so pretty much that 8th grade, there was a drum set on top of like where we keep our music shit in the music room. We brought down the drums, set it up. I don't remember the fucking first song was it. I remember Seven Nation. Seven Nation, because we were that edgy.
It was YouTube.
Yeah, we were edgy.
we were
really edgy stuff. We played
Seven Nation Army, Iron Man,
heavy.
We did Arctic Monkey.
We were playing really heavy stuff.
we did the only quote unquote heavy shit. We did fucking Master of Puppets.
Yeah,
ACDC. We barely got that down.
We played some crazy heavy stuff. We
Until
like Gojira levels of Seven Nation Army.
I don't remember how I joined, but
don't forget we also did Chop Suey. Like I don't know how God knows.
we should. Okay.
Yeah, and then later on, I don't even know how long after that. Fucking some of us had issues. We all dipped. We came back. And then I finally I got my. And then we all, yeah, we came back sophomore year. And then we all got our own instruments after that. We didn't have to borrow anybody's shit.
Yeah, so we kind of just settled there.
Yeah, and then ever since then we just kind of together and being able to see each other.
Vocally, do you want me to mention that?
Well, yeah. What is it? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so vocally was weird because so like the way so after we graduated from our 7th and 8th grade where we started meeting and we started playing, we started like developing our stuff. Around after that, we joined a church group with our teacher. He invited us to a church and we played there as musicians for a little bit, and basically that's kind of where we developed our time as musicians and kind of did our thing. And we were basically taught under a lot of musicians. We were taught under a lady, Miss Ira Stevenson and Vincent Simpson. They were the ones that kind of taught us some stuff. And so she taught me how to like push out diaphragm. I was really shy. We didn't have anybody singing for like a hot minute. And somewhere around 3 years in, I was like, I guess I'm singing. I'm just gonna settle for music. So I kind of just settled. A couple years later, I just kind of like I said, I settled, and we started doing our album. I don't know if you can tell, but on that EP, I don't scream very much, but over the 2 years that we've been playing more and more in the scene, my vocal style developed a little more into a more aggressive, hardcore screamy sound. So it's a good mix between hardcore scream and metal scream. So like we're getting the best of both worlds. Almost like people say I sound a lot of time like Slayer. That's a really big compliment because that's huge.
There we go. Now, do you guys have any shows coming up that you want to promote in the next few months?
2 months up. Let's see, shows coming up. We do have we have a lot actually. I just don't remember any of them. They're all in my calendar somewhere.
Well, where can people find information about your shows? They can follow you on Instagram, or where can people follow you?
Instagram is the best bet. So if you're on any other socials, I mean, we should be on there too. I post flyers here and there. Yeah, Instagram's best bet.
All right, there you go. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on today. It was great talking to you.
Oh yeah. One more thing before you go.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've ever seen us live, but
we're
wasting Eternities.